Hello, happy Monday, and welcome to the Bee Formless Flow Driven CEO podcast. It's nice to be able to say happy Monday to you, Brandon Hepburn, and myself because it is Monday. So,
Yeah,
welcome to the
thank you so
show.
much. No, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time. It's
Oh
awesome.
my God, this is third time lucky that we're actually finally chatting. It's pretty funny that third time lucky here we are. So I'm pretty thrilled that my fault too, by the way. But you're all the way in Dubai, which is so cool. It's Monday 10 a.m. there, and it's this afternoon
Yeah.
here. And I feel like this is going to be a really good, motivating Monday chat, given that, it's the weekend's just been, and given what you do for like your business and how you transform people. I think it's a good one to get us all G'd up to get into the rest of the week. So I want to just really probably recap, celebrate your successes to date. You're a former team Great Britain kayaker, British champion, World Cup bronze medalist turned fitness now and mindset coach, born and raised in Oxfordshire, England.
Yeah.
And your early years were shaped by insecurity and academic struggle, but sports gave you that sense of confidence and identity, which I absolutely love. And today you run an international online coaching brand or platform, I should say, that's 10 years young, we'll say young versus old, where you help guide people to transform their bodies and minds through your signature, simple as simple as simple as FUCK approach. Love it. Straight to the point. Your work combines elite metabolic training, full accountability, and a radical focus on core confidence. I want to get into that bit, energy, and this mental resilience. You've helped thousands around the world shift their identity, reclaim their self-belief, and build lives that feel as good as they look. Love it, love it, love it. I'm a bit of a
That
fitness,
makes me sound actually all right in a minute.
yeah, well, look at you. You're in your fitness gear now. You're just this kind of constant trainer, right? Like where you're, always probably on so tell us, I want to hear about your backstory in terms of before we even get to being a world champion, but this physical insecurity and academic struggle, and then how you
Yeah.
found sport to give you that sense of confidence and identity. Because it sounds like it's really informed your years, and how you've got to where you are today.
Yeah, 100%. I think I don't know. I think younger years is definitely something the older you get, you reflect on a lot more. And it makes me very question, like, obviously if I have kids in the future, I'm very resilient now to be like to put them into a school system. Obviously I think we'll do it, of course. But it's just being very aware of it that it doesn't need to, especially from an academic side of things we're seeing with the world now, is that does it mean anything? Like, unless you want to be a doctor or a lawyer and things like that, you need to do it. Otherwise, it's kind of irrelevant to an extent. Um, and I wish that, I don't know, I think I wish my parents were good at it. They kind of told me, like, hey, just do your best sort of thing. But my best was terrible. It was terrible. Like, I didn't actually pass high school technically. Like, um, I don't know in Australia, like, we get grades in the UK called U. So I
You,
don't know if you get that. U. So like it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, U.
oh, like, is that meant to be like work, like
It's
fail?
like it's like ungradable or something like that. I
Oh,
don't know what it
okay,
means.
yeah.
So like I got a bunch of those, put it that way. Um, and yeah, I think just through that kind of like that 12, I guess, to 16, 18 years old, like it just feels like you're failing the whole time. You're told you're the bottom set of English, you're the bottom set of this. And when you reflect back on it, it literally is like you're literally just you're told that you're the bottom set, you're the dumb set, and that if you don't have academics, you're never going to achieve shit in life. That's kind of what you kind of think of. And I tried to prove myself for too long. I tried to go to university through a scholarship, dropped out, just couldn't do it, and it was more so proving something that I was never meant to do.
Mm.
And all I was good at was sport. So I was like, you know what, just screw this. Like, I'm just gonna like just do that. That's all I know. It's all I can do. Um, and I wish you could told that you could have a career out of sport. And even if you don't make it to like a professional level or whatever it is, there's so many different avenues. You can go into sports massage, you can go into sports this, sports that, sports psychology, sports everything. And I wish we were told that. So yeah, I guess that's it really. My parents were great, but it was just the academic system that probably gave me a lot of insecurities and traumas that I've had to deal with.
Yeah, that's fascinating. It's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like that, it's like following that career path, or like you go to high school, you have those career counselors or whatever, and they say you should do this. And I remember I had it too when I was, year 10, so I was 16 at the time, and it was I should pursue science. And like, I mean, I've
Yeah,
studied science since, but not like chemistry and things like that. But like it was the subjects that they said that I should pursue is so far from what I was ever going to, you know, and then I didn't do very well because I was doing things that were just completely foreign to me and understanding and learning from it. And it really
yeah,
did, like, I guess it did mess with my confidence at the time. And you're doing like I call soul searching, right? Because you're trying to work out, well, who am I and what am I and what am I good at? When you're told, well, you should be doing this, and when you don't get the grades to get into the university degree you're meant to or whatever, and you're like,
yeah.
I don't know
At
what
such
to do now.
yeah, no, and also at such a young age. They're like, and I speak to my mum now, and she's like, I'm just gonna do something different. And she's like 65. And you're like,
Yeah.
sick. Like, go do something different. Like you've
Yeah.
done loads of things. Go to do something different. Just think it's a bizarre concept that you have to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life at 16. And like it's mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. So
No. And so then so you were always really good at sport and you tried to go to uni, that didn't work out for you. So then how did you realize I want to put sport and business together? At what point did you go, okay, I'm going to start? Yeah. And was it your own
yeah,
it sounds like it was your own lived experiences that enabled you to then create a business that was, well, because you mentioned that you had, physical insecurity, and then also like obviously from the academic struggle from a confidence perspective. So you must have
yeah.
seen something and gone, okay, well, like if this has happened to me, it's got to have happened to other people. How can I help them? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, is that where it came? Like, how did it come about?
It honestly it all started very selfishly. I didn't want to be a coach. Like whoever wakes up and be like, I'm going to be a fitness coach. That's the dream job. Um, I started kayaking when I was kind of like 11 or 12. So then throughout that process, obviously I got better when in my teenage years, and probably that's one of the reasons I failed because I was like put no energy into school and put all my energy into sport and stuff like that. And then I got picked up by a supplement company to do sponsorship. And they literally said, hey, like I think I was 16 or 18 in that age, and they said, hey, come to London. We need to do a photo shoot. We need to literally what you're doing, update our website pro pictures and update all that sort of stuff. So I was like, okay. And then I went there and I was like, what do these people do? Like all these other athletes there. And I was like, they're all in shape. I'm like, I was like 16, 18, like no clue what I'm doing. I'm just good at kayaking. Like, and I asked them, like, what do you do for a living? Like, you look really good. And they were like, oh, like we're personal trainers, but then athletes on the side. So like personal training kind of funded their, in a sense, sporting career. And I was like, no, I'm going to do that. So I get to still kayak, earn money, teach people how to do exercise stuff. And I was like, sick, let me do that. That was literally it. So selfishly, it was literally just like, I'm going to do this so I can continue kayaking and earn money. Because kayaking was good, but the sport was free. But then obviously, if you had to travel and you had to do eat and all this sort of stuff, like it didn't cover things like that. So I was like, screw it, I can do that. And that was literally it. And then eventually, like over the years, that transitioned, I naturally kind of transitioned more into, in a sense, physique development and things like that. And I naturally just didn't get on the water as much and stuff like that. So the natural transition kind of happened, and that was it really. So it purely started from a selfish aspect more than anything else.
Yeah, right. How amazing that you went from like a selfish, like, well, not selfish, but like just your own
Yeah,
experience. And so given that, given your background and everything else, were you just what was there any of your own limiting beliefs or blocks or barriers to then starting your own business? Or were you just like,
I didn't really have a choice. So I actually applied when I got my personal training certificate thing. They actually said like I was like I wanted to go to a gym where I could be employed technically. So that was kind of what I wanted to do. Um, and they never got back to me. So they never replied to my emails or my CV applications and stuff like that. And then I was like, well, there's this new gym opening down the road, but like it's you go in, you're fully self-employed straight away. So like you literally just you pay the gym a fee sort of thing, and or vice versa, you do some hours for them for free, and then you can personal train on top of that, all your clients. So it's like, okay, I've got no security. I don't get a salary in a sense, but it's the only one I got, so I just take it. And I guess maybe luckily it was a brand new gym, so I was like in a new area. But yeah, I didn't know how to do any business stuff. I was just like, okay, like I can train and I can teach people to train and I can write some training programs. And that was kind of how it all evolved, really. And over the years, you kind of like learn business, you learn marketing, you learn how to build a personal brand and stuff like that. But it was all experience. Like no one told you how to do any of this sort of
Mm,
stuff. Like
mm,
you'd learn it from other people, trainers that are older. They're like, okay, make sure you sell your packages in tens, or make sure you have an expiry date on your packages so no one takes the piss and like tries to do a training session in a year's time when they've got 1 second
yeah,
left. All this sort of stuff. So yeah, over the months and years, you kind of just learn business. Really, it's not something you can be taught at
no.
all. I don't think.
Yeah, I love your just authentic style and like just calling it what it is in terms of your signature approach. Talk us through a little bit about that, like in terms of you probably I guess I should say probably a question for you is like you seem like you've just done it your way, like in terms of you've navigated your way through business to work out what sticks, what doesn't stick, what resonates, what doesn't resonate. But I get
Hmm.
the feeling you're someone that stays true to who they are and their authentic self. And it says it all in your signature program, simple as, approach.
Yeah.
So tell us a
Um,
bit about that.
there's definitely phases in your life where you get dragged down a route that doesn't align with you, and I think that's normal. You start doing things. It could be business. You start doing things, or say, for example, you release a product you don't believe in, just because you think that's the new thing and you're going to earn money off it. And I've been down those routes, like definitely like aligning my direction of business, and it could be through content, posting things like I don't really believe in that. We've all done that, but I think just the reality is I always stand back to be like, what got me here? And especially I've had to do that over the last kind of couple of years to be like, what actually got me here? All I did was document what I do, post it online, and just be me. And that kind of built me a business and built me a career. So like, and the more you, I think this is the beauty of training. It really simplifies everything. So it simplifies life and it simplifies business. So you're like, okay, so if I eat well, I train hard, I show up every day, I show up on the days that I don't really want to do it. And if I just stay consistent, tick the boxes off every day, and I try and be a little bit better than yesterday, eventually I'll get a result. And that's fitness in a nutshell. So you're like, okay, so how about if I just apply that to business?
It's so true, isn't it? It's so true because I know that like on my not so good days, I'm like, no matter what, I'll always show up to training. And because I always know I'll feel better, like when you're just having a day where it's just like, this is tough today. Like we were talking about this earlier, just before we got on live. But essentially, I was talking to you about like we're living in this non-linear world now, and there's no real A to B anymore. It's like you could go here, your week could go like you think it's starting here, and then by the end of the week, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
that happened, this happened, sort of thing. And so what you're
yeah,
talking
100%.
about
Yes.
for me is this consistency in a non-linear world, and I've been really exploring it. And it's interesting that you're talking about training and the simplicity of it because it's muscle memory. You're always improving just by showing up.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's literally it. And then all you do is, in a sense, teach people that method. So, like, getting in shape and things like that, it isn't rocket science.
But
All
what
the information's out there. It's all out there. So like it's the same thing. If you want to be a millionaire, the truth is there's lots of them nowadays. The methods are there. So why can't people do it? It's because the reality is to be a millionaire, it takes a lot more time than you actually think. It takes a lot more work ethic. It takes a lot more showing up than you actually think. So then, and also like if you look at most millionaires, billionaires, they're most of the time they're in their 40s, later 50s and 60s. And they've probably been doing it 20 years longer than you have, or an extra 10 years longer than you have. So the only difference is time. And that's the same thing when then like if someone goes, oh, like I how did you do that? I'm like, because I've been training 10 years. Like that's literally it. And then the only difference is when people hire you, they skip the initial 4 or 5 years that I did because I'm like, I just didn't see things because I was trying different methods and everything for 5 years. And you don't have to do that. So you can achieve what I did in 5 years instead of 10 years.
So are you saying though, because you tried different things for 5 years versus just staying true to what you should have just stayed true to? Like, is that what you're saying there? Like, yeah,
Mm,
like,
yeah, to an extent, but also you overcomplicate things.
yeah, so
So like you overanalyze things. So like, and you think again, it probably is like when you're younger or when you're early in business, you think they're doing really well, I'm going to do that, and you're like, well, you're not them. Like so, when it comes down to the human body, I'm like, their shoulder's not the same as my shoulder. Their everything, our complete body anatomy, our hormones, it's everything is completely different. Their lifestyle, what they do on a day-to-day basis is completely different to what I do. The enjoyment, like a training enjoyment, like I don't like training like that. It's boring. It's crap. I don't want to train like that. I want to train like this. So eventually, like you get to the point being like, you try these methods for so long, or you follow people for so long, or it could be a coach. Like I worked with a coach and I was like, didn't really connect with him for a year. Like the methods didn't really work. And then you find someone else and you're like, oh, actually, this is really simple and easy, and I like my style, and you see better progress. So a lot of it now is like it's not about telling someone to do it, it's kind of producing a formula that works for them.
I really like that. Like that, it's like a yeah, because I've created my own methodology for my own business. It's very similar. Like, quite often you'll be asked to provide, and you'll relate to this, right? You'll get asked to provide a program, and it's almost like the expectation is it's cookie cutter, like as in, and I'm like, I don't have like I've got programs, but they're always bespoke to the person until I've met the person. I've got my toolkits and everything around it, but I connect with the person, and it's like what you're saying. Not
Yeah,
every person has the same shoulder. Not everyone has the same, you know, way of the mind or like motivate, like different forms of motivation. So it's
yeah,
almost like putting together what is like the right training program, like what you would do for when you're training people from a fitness perspective so that they actually
yeah,
get the most out of it and it's rewarding. It's not just, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah. And also, again, it's like as much as we want to be like I'm saying, like our shoulders are different or whatever it is, like, yeah, they're different, 100%. There's no doubt, but it's still at the end of the day, everyone's shoulder joint is still this. Someone might have more flexibility, more range of motion, but at the end of the day, human biology hasn't changed. So,
no.
like, my elbow can only do this, same as yours. So, when someone tries to reinvent the wheel or do something fancy, they're like, oh, I'm just going to try and train my arms like this. I'm like, yeah, but it only does that. Like, that's all it can do. So, like, don't try and overcomplicate. You just find angles that fit you better. Like, I might be wider than you, so you might have to put your elbow slightly differently. So, a lot of it is just communication. It's like at the end of the day, like, if you want to get a bigger arm, like, do a bicep curl because that's all you can do. So then it's like, okay, but how do we make you very good at doing a bicep curl? Do we use a cable, a dumbbell? Do we use support? Do we use a joint at a different angle? And that's where the tailored approach comes from. It doesn't come from the programming. Because on a piece of paper, it will just say curl.
Totally. Yeah, but I don't know about you, but in business, I find that that's still a little bit like if you don't have like there's almost like how am I explaining myself here? Like I don't know, like I sometimes think that yeah, there is still this expectation of, like because we're so used to having everything in a linear way, like it's always been from A to B. If you don't see it all on a piece of paper or on a program, it's like, oh, how could I trust it? But when what
Yeah,
you and I are talking about is this like also intuitive. Do you know what I mean? Intuitive programming, intuitive training.
yeah.
Where like I'm going to
It's,
get to you about mindset, but it's intuitive. The minute you meet somebody, you can pretty much pick up on, okay, I know what's going
yeah,
on here.
yeah, 100%. And I think that's what's wrong nowadays as well, because everyone thinks it's easy. And I'm like, it is. But it's also, it requires a lot more resilience than think. And that's what people miss nowadays. It's the same as like, I have this conversation a lot more with males nowadays because males don't need to be the same type of males they needed to be when my granddad was around. Like women can work, they can have jobs, they can have an income now, they can be more successful than males, they can do all these things. So like as a male, it can be very hard, excuse my French, to like deal with this world now because I'm like, you don't have to do the same thing. So naturally, we're seeing more males that are depressed. They're seeing more male suicides. We're seeing more males. Hormones are actually pretty bad because they don't have to do that. They don't even have to walk up to an attractive woman and be like, "Hey, do you want to go out sometime?" They don't even need to do that nowadays because they can just swipe. So there, in a sense, we're seeing like worldwide for sure, we're seeing a natural decrease in natural testosterone levels because males don't need to be males. So we're seeing a big change from a hormonal side of things year after year. That's why more males need to have therapy. They need to have like, I say therapy, but like they need to actually have hormone therapy, like replacement therapy. So we're seeing it from like a really extreme aspect. But if you train and you challenge your body, that's a way of making things hard. And we only grow in hard times. We only grow when things are hard.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense,
No,
rambling slightly,
no,
but
you're not rambling. It totally makes sense. Do you train males and females, or is your niche more males, or is it a mix? And like, do you train like people that are stressed out, like, high performing, yeah, what sort of people do you train, and what are you noticing besides what you just mentioned with men? What other things are you noticing when it comes to people that you're training
yeah.
at the moment?
I'll coach people like it's weird. I had this conversation with another coach the other day. Like they were like, "Do you have a niche?" And I was like, "No, my niche is the personal brand.
Yeah,
So like, if you like me, you'll work me. If you don't, you won't. It's
yeah,
that. It's that.
yeah,
It's
that's
very
cool.
much that simple. If you believe what I say, cool. So no, I work with probably 60% females. Just because I think because I was born and raised by two females, like I have more of a feminine approach, and even
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah,
day-to-day
yeah.
life, I'm probably more feminine approach. So probably that, but then I again like I probably work from people that are 20 all the way up through till I had a lady that was 68 and she did a photo shoot, right? So there's no real niche in that to an extent. It's more so again, it's just a mindset thing, being like, are you wanting to change? Are you willing to change? Are you willing to take action? Like that's the people that I would work with type of thing. I think nowadays, I think a lot of it is more you. If someone told me this today from day one, you're not a fitness coach, you're a psychologist before you're a fitness coach, that would have helped. So in a sense, initially you're dissecting their health initially. So are they healthy as standard? Do they sleep? Do they eat well? Is looking for hormone imbalances, how they energy levels are, all this sort of stuff. So initially you have to assess, is the individual healthy? Get the individual healthy, because if there's health isn't there, you're not going to get the body responding how you want to respond. So you need to get health in a position and then to respond from there. Most of the time now, people aren't as healthy as they think because of just literally things being like having too much screen times, all this sort of stuff, having too much time on technology, which again is messing them up from a mental aspect. So
Mm.
you kind of need to get the individual healthy both physically and mentally, and then to get their body response. So I think more so nowadays you spend a lot more time looking after someone's mindset and making sure physically they're healthy in order to keep the body responding. Because once the body's responding, it's quite straightforward. Keep training, keep eating well. Let's see how it changes, make changes if needed. Keep going.
Yeah, I remember when I had my burnout a few years ago now, it was the physical was the easiest bit to recover from. Like as much as like I was
Yeah.
absolutely exhausted, but it was the mind, it was the strategic mind that needed the work, like in terms of, yeah, like it was full mindset training, like and the two went together hand in hand. But yeah, the physical was the easiest bit to get over. It was then trying to work through how, okay, how do I get stronger? Like it's almost like what's the program for my mind from a strength perspective, so that I'm
Yeah.
not seeing everything as a catastrophe and stressed out because I was trying to bring everything back down to the state, the state that I should be versus operating from this fight or flight mode. But do you with
Yeah.
with women, is it like in terms of are there any trends you're noticing in terms of like are they generally stressed, like burnt out when they come to you, or is it generally and are they coming to you for, to get fit, or is it more is it a combination of mind and fitness? Like,
Yeah. Women, I would say, are more mentally stable than males to an
yeah, right.
extent.
Yeah.
Of course, there's obviously like a big thing like females are obviously always going to have more hormonal things to deal with to an extent. So whether that is just naturally, that is your cycle on a regular basis, every female responds very differently. And then vice versa, then you'll obviously have menopause. So you'll go through those changes. And there's all those things that you kind of need
Yeah.
to consider from a hormonal basis. But the reality is a human body is a human body. A hormone is a hormone. Like everyone's different on how you treat it. and how you, in a sense, look after it. But it's once you've done it for a long time, it is very second nature to keep people in a good place physically and, in a sense, hormonally and healthy in all other areas of their life, if that makes sense. But the reality is people know if they look good, if they're fit, they're healthy, they have more muscle, they have less body fat, they know straight away the body will be healthier. So it's given. They know they will feel more confident straight away. They know they will have better self-belief. They will know all these things. So everything stems from actually a visual effect of how they see themselves.
Yeah.
So like everyone's goal stems down to being like, I want to like, there's no shame in being like, I just want to look absolutely insane in a bikini, like, for example. I want to have a flat stomach. I want to have nice glutes. I want to have a tight waist. And like, cool, because that straight away will allow you to feel better in yourself. That's literally it. So everything stems from that.
Yeah.
And then you have to dissect how do we get that?
Yeah. Yeah. And what's your view on like shaping and reshaping? Like, like is there like do you have a plateau? Like and I'm where I'm going with this is obviously my business is around being formless. So, going from one form to the next in terms of shaping and reshaping continuously, which is what you somewhat did as you were growing up, right? Like you went from one form, you like thought you like you went to uni and then you were like, no, I don't want to do this, I want to do
Yeah,
this. Do you see that, like in terms of from the people that you transform, like in terms of longer standing clients, like there's a constantly an evolution, surely, right? In terms of,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, 100%. People evolve and we all should.
yeah,
Like that's the process of it. Like I've coached people that never wanted to do certain things and they end up doing them because they were like they see their potential grow and they're like, oh, now I can do that 6 months
mm,
in, a year in,
mm,
3 months in.
yeah,
So initially, people always like no one starts off like I again same thing. I started off fitness being like, hey, I just want to earn some money so I can kayak on the side. That's how I started, and now it's evolved into this is literally what I live and breathe every single day. I coach it and I practice it every single day, and I have now goals that are away from sport performance. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it evolves, and how we all should. So some
yeah,
people come to me and they've never been to a gym before, and then a year later they do a photo shoot. But they didn't want to do a photo shoot. That wasn't the goal to start off with. They just wanted to be like, hey, and then they see other people in a community and things like that, and they're like, oh, I can do that, right? And I'm like, yeah, 100%. Like, but they have to kind of go through those phases. It's the same thing. It's a bit like when people. It's kind of why I hate like affirmations to an extent. When people go, oh, just love yourself, just tell yourself you're amazing, and just like love yourself. You're like, it's the most horse crap thing you'll ever hear. I'm like, the only way to believe in yourself, to love yourself more, is to literally by getting a result. And you will. You'll respect yourself more. So like if someone's morbidly obese and unhealthy and unhappy and their dating life's terrible, like just going, oh, you look amazing, you love yourself, that's not going to fix their solution. Like go out there and get a change and get a result in some form, and then you'll have the confidence and you'll believe yourself to go further.
yeah. I like it. Hey, Brendan, are you like a bit of a hard taskmaster, like in terms of like training with you or working with you, like like talking about mental resilience, like, and it starts obviously always from like a mental perspective. Do you have certain non-negotiables and when you're training with people, like, like if we think about your program, right, simple as approach, I think about
Yeah,
hunger sometimes, up, but I'm like, there's people like, even myself at times where you need to transform, but there's this inner critic, there's this inner self-doubt, lacking confidence. And so, how hard do you go at a client when you can see that they've got what it takes to transform, if you like, but they're quite
yeah,
delicate, fragile, and I'm kind of going with this fragile to then, resilience to then bouncing forward from an anti-fragility perspective. Like,
yeah.
what do you do in those situations and instances?
Everyone's unique. Everyone's
Mm,
very unique. I'm even if I look at it so from my coach, I like the reassurance. I do. I like to have sometimes a pat on my back, or I like to be told that I'm doing the right thing. You're doing really good to keep moving forward. And you get to know how individuals respond and kind of what fulfills them. Um, but if we talk about like, we'll kind of strip it back to like you say, non-negotiables. So like everyone's non-negotiables are different in order to move forward. Like So me and you, our non-negotiables, like my non-negotiables, no matter what the day has at me, like we know this from running a business, like a fire might break out and we have to completely sack everything off today, right? And deal with this first. But my non-negotiables in myself and in my business as I try the best I can as a partner even or whatever that is, I need to make sure I eat my meals. I need to make sure I train hard. I need to make sure I drink well. I need to make sure I don't go near my phone in the first hour of the day and the last hour of the day, whatever it is. There's certain non-negotiables that I'll do every single day because I know those things move me forward. And anything else in the day, it's okay. Like it's light. And it's the same. Other people might have different non-negotiables. So like if it's a female and she like, I don't know, say for example, she needs to lose some body fat in order to try and get pregnant and increases her chances of getting pregnant. Then we're like, okay, what are the three things that you need to do every day to increase those chances? She needs, I need to make sure I have 3 meals a day. I need to make sure I eat more fruit, more vegetables. I need to make sure I go for a walk and get good for my mindset to go for a nice long walk. Okay, that's what we need to do. So like, does that make sense? So like everyone's like non-negotiables will be very different to the requirements that we want to achieve.
Yeah, like at
And
the
then again, everyone,
Yeah, but what you're
go,
saying is though you're not a like I'm sure you're like a an accountable coach, but like you're not just like you need to do this. Like you motivate people so that they then tap into that inner strength, inner resilience that they've got. But it's like you say, you're just needing that tap on the back or the recognition to go, you're
yeah,
doing really well. Like, and I think that's really important, isn't it? Because when we're down and out or when we're like, no, we deep down want to transform, but we can't see the wood for the trees or we can't yet see the light. It's just nice to
yeah,
know that we've got that guide with us, guiding us through, and then you can get tough is the wrong word, but you can get a little
yeah,
bit more like, come on, let's go now, like, or snap out of
yeah,
it, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's what I've always loved in a coach is the ability to pull me out of when I'm kind of down here, and it's like, come on, up you come,
yeah,
um, and it's the same
yeah.
with training.
Exactly the same. Yeah, it's like you say as well. Like I try not to use the word motivation because I don't really believe in it.
Yeah.
Um, because it's an emotion. It's in the name. So it's like I'm motivated to train 3 days out of the five that I train. The other, do you know what I mean? The other 2 days I'm like, here we go. Um, but I just know what needs to be done. And you set kind of those again, it's just like you set standards for yourself. And I guess it's not trying to, I don't try and I don't want to pull like if I motivate someone, but I don't want to. I try to want to inspire someone instead.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I inspire.
because it's like I can motivate you. Like anyone could listen to this podcast and be like, "Hey, I'm motivated for half a day," and then that's it. The rest of the week's dead. Like that's not the kind of the purpose for it. It's more so embedding constant habits and routines and setting that higher standard for ourselves is kind of the biggest thing. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, the highest standard, absolutely. Tell me, what would you recommend to anyone starting for the start of their week, like to set themselves up to be their best self for the week? Like, do you have like a recommend? And I know we've been talking about everyone's different, but is there like some sort of
Yeah.
thing you would recommend? Like, it's Monday today. Like, if you knew you had a big week ahead, like, yeah,
I think Monday's always like set the tone for the week, if that makes sense. So like I would say to everyone, don't skip a workout on a Monday. Like straight away, do a workout on a Monday for sure. Like, train on a Monday. I
does it
think it's
matter
little
what
things. I
time
think it's
out of interest on a Monday that you do it?
no, I think it come down. It's people's routines, right? If someone works at 9 till 5, then I'm always an advocate of morning workouts. So like morning to lunchtime. Like ideally no later than like 2, 3 o'clock kind of thing. Because the reality is if someone's worked a 6 to 8 hour day, like if someone said to me, "Hey, train at 5 p.m.," I'd be like, "No, there's no way." Like I'm a morning person. Like there's no way I'm training at 5 to 6 p.m. Like I don't have the energy. I don't perform well then, so there's no point. Like I would sack it off. So like that's why I'm like, okay, I'll just make sure I train at my normal time earlier in the day or first thing in the morning, set the tone for the week. I think that's the biggest thing is always ask yourself is like the future you want, like what does that person doing? That makes sense. So like if in a year's time, if you want to be stronger, if you want to be leaner, if you want to have a better income, what is that person doing on a day to day? Okay, you know you need to work out, you know you need to eat well, you know you need to not scroll on your phone, whatever it is, right? Then don't do it.
So true.
So
Yeah,
it's,
I know. So true. Like that whole doom scrolling is just the worst. Like it's just like you just get
but it's,
caught, you know?
but it's kind of like I said, like when we say like simple as F, right? Like that's it. Like it is simple, but it's hard. It's hard to do the simple things every single day. And there's like a really good thing. I heard it on a podcast as well. It's like brushing your teeth. It's like a really easy task. It's like 2 minutes twice a day, right? It's really, really easy. It's just building a habit, building a routine. But also, it's really easy not to do it. But the side effects from brushing your teeth twice a day is really nice. You have nice white teeth. You can, you know what I mean? You don't have any dental issues and things
Yeah.
like that. And the downside is obviously if you don't, you're going to have bad teeth. They're going to rot. They're going to things like that. So like a simple habit done consistently or a simple habit not done at all can lead to a big outcome.
Yeah, I
So
call
it's
it
kind of
stick to
just
your plan. Stick to your plan, like in terms of the plans always change, but like you're talking about simple habits, stick to them. Like if you've got them, stick to them. Don't,
yeah,
make sure you do them every day.
yeah,
Like brushing your teeth. It's such a simple one, but yet so many people don't brush their teeth. And I'm like, I don't know how you don't. Like I just do it
yeah,
every day. It just becomes a religious thing for me in terms of doing it, right?
yeah, exactly the same. It's the same as, but then it's the same thing. People are like, oh, how do you train so good? I'm like, it is literally part of my DNA. I don't do it now. It makes me feel horrible.
What about
And then my whole day,
fuel? Oh, sorry, you keep going. Sorry.
no, go for it. I was just gonna say my whole day revolves around training. So like my calendar revolves around my 2.5 hours training. My my meetings revolve around it. Everything revolves around it. Because it's if I can't do that, then I don't have a business.
No. Exactly, exactly. What about fuel? I've got two more questions. What about fuel? How would you recommend fueling yourself up for the week at the start of the week? Like what not to like, you mentioned earlier water, hydrated, keeping yourself hydrated, fruit and veg and things like that. Like do you use, with your clients in terms of diet and things like that, is there certain things that you recommend for the start of the week versus falling into later into the week?
No, because the things that you should do every single day are the things that you should be doing every single day. Like it's the same thing. If someone wants to have a glass of wine on a Friday night or go out for dinner with their partner on a Friday night or Saturday to like just chill for the weekend, like do that. But otherwise, like all your meals still need to be ate well. Like just because it's the start of the week or the end of the week or January or February or March, nothing changes. Like you have to stay consistent. You have to do the same things every single day. It's really boring. Get used to being boring, and that's literally it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. It's just get used to being boring because we're all chasing the dopamine. We're all chasing something like shinier when actually
Exactly.
it's just keep it simple. And I love the simplicity because what you're talking about is what I absolutely resonate with. Instead of adding more to the complexity of the world we're already living in, it's subtract it. Just subtract it and
Yeah.
get back to your core
Mm.
basics of what it is when it comes to exercise, what it is when it comes to eating, like you say, brushing your teeth. What would be one
Yeah.
piece of advice you would give anybody who was wanting to transform in terms of body shape, mind, etc., but doesn't know where to start?
Um, my easiest one is honestly like get the right people around you because it's more confusing now. Because if you look online, like if people go, "Oh, I'm going to start on my own," I'm like, I know how it's going to end out. So I hear it every single day, and you don't change. You're in the same position you are in 6 months' time, in a year's time. So because you, again, the same thing we spoke about. They look online. I'm going to do this for a week, do that for a week, follow this person for a week. I'm like, I did it. I did it for 4 years. Trust me, it doesn't work. Like, so the biggest thing is like invest into yourself. So whether that is you invest into, it could be even something really simple, like you join a, say for example, someone does it, like they join a class, like a structured weight training class. Like it could be something like a CrossFit, or it could be something like join a class that you have to rock up there consistently, do these workouts. If you're not, you've already paid for it, you've already invested in it, you're losing out. And like, do you know what I mean? So something along those lines, or vice versa, you invest into a coach, you invest into a mentor. Like I always turn around and be like, how not it's got nothing to do with the cost, but it's like the cost of feeling the same as you are now. Like if you truly want to change, be like, do you want to feel like this in 6 months' time, a year's time from now? I'm like, cool, how much? And then everyone's like, time is money. I'm like, okay, well then put your money where your mouth is type of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I
100%.
think the biggest one is like, because I've had a coach since I was 12 years old, so I don't know any different. Do you know what I mean? So from kayaking and all the way through, and I'm like, it allows you to learn from someone that's done the experience, learn from someone that's felt it, that's experienced it, and that's all people pay you for, really. Like if I want a CEO to run my business, I'm only hiring him because of his experience. That's literally it, and his proven track record. It's
Yeah,
the same thing. If I hire a sports masseuse, it's because like you've done sports massage for 10,
yeah, so
10 years or
true.
5 years. Like that, all you do is pay for experience now,
Mm.
and you pay for your time back.
Yeah, I could not agree more. What about, it's such a pivotal piece you're just mentioning there, like in terms of not following everybody else, not thinking that that's the way to do it, like staying true to what you should be doing, getting the right people around you, but being having the ability to also eliminate that white noise and just be like, no, that's just ignore it, stay true to what you're doing. It's those incremental steps, right? Bouncing forward, that resilience piece we've been talking about. What about in business? What would be your one piece of advice, or is it the same advice that you would give as I've like, yeah, what's your business advice after 10 years in business?
The same, but also like take action faster. It's the same thing, really. It's the same as fitness. You're like, oh, like I want to get in shape, or I want to transform. Like, I'll start at the end of my holiday. I'm like, okay, so what? Wait another 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Wait another month. Wait another. Do you know what I mean? Or vice versa in business. Oh, I really want to start this business. I'm like, but it's a bit saturated. I'm like, it's gonna get more saturated. Start now.
yeah, start now. Yeah, start now.
It's the same thing. Even if it's just like anything. If you're like, oh, like I need to do. It's almost like the typical thing is like content nowadays. Everyone gets like paralyzed with content. For example, like, oh, like how should I post content or what should I do? I'm like, just post anything. Like post a picture of your dog because more people care about your dog than your day-to-day life. I don't know. Talk about how you went for a nice walk with your puppy.
I,
Like
yeah, I think it's just about being your authentic self more and more, like exactly what we're
it's
talking.
easier. It's easier
It's
because then
that.
it's just then you just document what you do.
Not, yeah, and not worrying what other people think because half the time no one is even thinking what even like watching what you're doing.
People have got their own crap in their life to worry about. It's the same thing.
You
People do that
know,
all the
it's so
time in the gym. People
true.
are like, oh, what about if someone looks at me in the gym? I'm like, cool, like great. But they've already got personal stuff going on at home. They're in the gym for their own reason because they need to better themselves.
Yeah, we're so good in our own heads. Okay, so how do we find out more about your simple as approach? How do we find out more about your coaching services? Where do we go?
Yeah, super easy. Just I'd probably say Instagram's probably an easy one. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. It's just I think they're all just my name. I
Yeah,
think
okay.
so. It's super easy. Same as you. I have a podcast, so that's on Spotify and YouTube. That's just called the 1% Podcast. Um, and that's literally it. Really simple.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I've thoroughly enjoyed having a chat with you. You've certainly motivated me for the rest of the
Appreciate
week.
it.
It's got me thinking about like just being consistent and just what take like just showing up, like sticking to the plan. That's what I spoke to Mum about last night. Just stick to your plan, whatever plan that may
Yeah,
be. And if the plan goes crazy, like different for a day, like still just try and be consistent with whatever it is you're doing.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and also like the last one I'd say is like just do like a bit of an audit around you. So like an audit can be really simple. Like say for example, like if you have so many connections on LinkedIn or so many you follow so many people on Instagram, whatever it is, just go through and actually like audit them, like get rid of them or mute them or disconnect from them. Like almost just narrow down your or like your the noise that can be around it. Same as like you have to do a really harsh one. It's actually like family and friends. So like there's certain family members that I'll speak to once a month, and there's certain family members that I'll speak to once a week
Mm.
because I know like what energy they give off.
Yeah, I agree.
So like sometimes just do an audit around actually like your personal life and even just like what's on your phone.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. Yeah, I love all this subtractive psychology. It's the only way you're going to get yourself into in the flow state as well and be completely focused and in the zone, right? To like do what you're meant to be doing. And
Just makes life easier and happier.
yeah,
Like it's just the more calm there is, the easier it becomes.
I agree. Yeah, less noise. Like, yeah, more
That's it.
peaceful. I choose
That's
peace.
it.
I choose peace these days over drama and
Oh,
Gosh,
gotcha.
stress, seriously.
I'm too old for gossip and drama.
Me too, me too. Well, thank you so much, Brandon. I've loved our chat, and I'm glad that we got to third time lucky. We got to chat today. So have a
Good.
wonderful week, and thank you.
You too, my love.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Appreciate your time.
You.